Welcome back to another episode of the Spoonie and Caregiver Live podcast with me, Jordan Banderas. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the podcast. And let's go ahead and get into today's episode, shall we? Now, I wanted to talk about this because this is something that I went through as a spoonie and now I'm going through again as a caregiver with my wife. And it's very important for me to tell you this because I see it on TikTok and social media how people say this a lot. And one of the things that I don't say a lot anymore is I wish. That particular phrase, I stopped saying it a long time ago. The reason why is because growing up, like as everybody knows, I had a rough childhood. Like I have talked a lot about it. I got PTSD from it, so it wasn't the best childhood. But growing up, I always said to myself, I wish I had a better mom. I wish I was a better son. I wish all of these things to happen, but they never happened. And because they never happened, what I feel it contributed to, at least in my case, is to my depression. Because we're going to wish a lot of stuff. And because it doesn't happen, then that might cause depression. At least it caused it on me, or that's how I feel about it. I don't know if it might happen to you, but one of the things that I was able to understand once I started working on myself is that we don't have to wish. Wishing, at least for me, that's why I just want to talk about it from my perspective. Wishing, at least for me, is more like just expecting for anything to happen without any effort. And that's pretty much what I did my whole life. Like the best example that I can give you, I always wanted to look rep. I wanted to be buff and healthy and like a bodybuilder. I always say like I wish I had the body of a bodybuilder. But did I go to the gym? I did, but I was mostly looking at my phone instead of going to the gym or working out. So I wasn't putting the effort. And and it's funny because I know that a lot of us say that. Like I said, I have seen it on social media and we say this, and then in my case I used to say this like, how come it doesn't happen? Well, it doesn't happen because I wasn't putting the effort. And the other day, after my wife had her surgeries, both of them, she kept saying like, I wish I could walk again faster, and I wish I could heal faster, and I wish all of these things. And I started talking to her because she kept saying it, and I could see it on her face that she was getting depressed. So I was like, I need to do something about this because obviously she suffers from severe depression, so I didn't want her to go into the rabbit hole. So I asked her like, how come you say I wish? And she said like, well, I just wish it because I want it to happen. And I stopped her right there and I said like, are you wishing it to happen or you want it to happen? And she said like, no, I want it to happen. So what I asked her, or what I told her in that situation, is that then she shouldn't be wishing it. She should just want it, because wishing and wanting is two completely different things, right? Because like I said, at least for me, if I say I wish, that means that I'm just expecting it. When I say I want it, I need to go get it. Like in her case, I was telling her that, and she's like, that makes sense. So I explained her what I just explained about like how I grew up, and I always said that I wish, and she was able to understand it a little bit more. And I told her like, and I gave her this example: when you want something from this store and you can't order it online, or even if you see it online, what do? Do you wish for it, or do you want it and go get it? And she's like, no, if I want it, I go get it, I order, or I go to the store and go buy it. It's like the same thing with whatever you want, or whatever you actually need to do. You have to want it, and then you have to do it. So in this case, because she needs to rest, I told her, what you need to do in this situation, because of your surgeries, you need to rest in order for you to heal. You need to follow the doctor's instructions, right? And she's like, yes, I have to follow the doctor's instructions. So now finally she's resting. She's taking care of herself. And like I said, I wanted to talk about this because I see a lot of people um, saying, I wish this will happen. I wish my depression will go away. I wish my anxiety will go away. Or I wish I didn't have this body that is failing on me. Like, unfortunately, wishes like that are not going to change anything. And me as a caregiver of my wife, I saw it when she was at her worst, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Because if 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 you keep saying that, at least from my perspective, because of what happened, I it could cause you to get depressed, because the illness or whatever you are facing right now might never go away. It can only be manageable sometimes. Sometimes it might go away, sometimes it can just be manageable. So if you actually want to do something, like I told my wife, you have to want it. You have to say, instead of saying like, I wish I had a better body, how about we say, I wish, or I mean, I want to feel better, or instead of, I wish my depression to go away or my anxiety to go away, how about we say, I want to take care of this depression. And then obviously you need to do something about it. Like, you need to sometimes face your certain things that might have happened to you that could have caused that depression. So this is pretty much what I wanted to talk about, because anybody can use this particular scenario where you change it from I wish to I want. And one of the things that's going to help you in the long run, obviously, takes time. It took me like 2-3 years to be able to change, because I used to say I wish a lot, like I said. So it takes time. Everything takes time. I mean, unfortunately, like in my case, I'm a slow. No, I'm not a slow learner. It just takes time for everything to click in, literally. So by me wishing for everything to be faster, or for me to understand everything faster, is not gonna happen. I have to put the effort to make my brain understand things faster. So that's one of the things that I have seen a lot online, and through people that I know, where they use that particular phrase a lot. And that's the reason why I wanted to talk about it, because it's not something that is going to change things. And like in my case, I feel like it contributed to my depression. So I don't want people to go through something similar. That's why I'm talking about it, because once you start getting into that habit of saying I wish, and you start feeling bad about it because it doesn't go away, then depression can kick in, anxiety can kick in, negative thoughts can kick in. And that's where it gets worse, pretty much, because you go into you get into the rabbit hole, and then you keep digging yourself in, and this is pretty much what happened to me. I feel like once I was deep in the rabbit hole, I couldn't get out until I needed help. Like, I needed help to get out. So this is pretty much one of the things that, as a spoonie and a caregiver, I have gone through. So there could be a possibility that you could be going through something similar. There could be the possibility that you might need to hear this. There could be the possibility that you know somebody that's going through something like this, and you have heard that person always say like, hey, I wish that this will happen. I wish that this and this will happen. So there's so many things, and like I said when I changed the name, this is the podcast is gonna be more raw. It's gonna be more about what it's like to be a spoonie and a caregiver, and this is why it's like going through something like this with my wife after her surgeries. I was like, this is what some of the things that I need to talk about. So that's what I wanted to talk about in today's episode. I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes. I hope you guys are liking the new name and everything that we're doing to improve the podcast. And again, thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your messages and your emails. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And also, if you know somebody that can benefit from the podcast, you can always share it. Don't forget to invite your friends on the community, so we can actually expand the community, and very much we can become stronger together and face our problems together. There is strength in numbers. So if you want to share your story, or you want to send me any feedback, you can send it to me on IM. You can post it on Facebook or Instagram, or send an IM there too. Or you can send me an email at the spooniandcaregiverlife@gmail.com, and I'll leave you like always. Always take care of yourself and have a great day.